On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype. We make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what go on? A blessed and wonderful Wednesday morning to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now my peeps, I don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So in the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps. We're going to kick it off in the morning with an update coming out of the troubled, war-torn, crime-riddled community of Rockfort in the Kingston Eastern Police Division. So as we all know, Monday, a fatal knockings and clappings going over there, where 5 end up lose them 3 pints to the hands of criminal elements. 2 top dans from the community of Rockfort, the section known as Warwick Hill or Pleasant Heights as some may call it, and also the son of one of the dans. For those who missed yesterday morning's vlog, please go over and watch that vlog for the full detail of that mass knockings and clappings that claimed the life of 5 and injuring of 2. Yeah, man. So now we are going to hear from the woman who is sitting in the hot seat of the Kingston Eastern Police Division. That's Senior Superintendent of Police, Tammy Lee Chambers, as she briefs the Prime Minister and also the Minister of National Security and the Deputy Commissioner of Police as they toured the area where that mass knockings and clappings took place. Now listen.
Yesterday, Heroes Day, the Pleasant Heights team, along with the Base 1 team, seems fit to come together to have a friendly football competition. At the end of the competition, Base 1 team, they won the first prize. So they were here awaiting their first prize. However, they see it fit to have a spelling bee competition and also a bun eating contest. Whilst they're having fun, a group of men walk up in the crowd and open gunfire at some of the patrons, hitting 7 persons. 5 succumb and 2 still remain in hospital, not serious. Sir, since then, we have imposed a curfew in the Rockfort area just to contain whatever situation or if any situation should arise and to prevent any reprisal. So far, my team have been on the ground. We have been getting support from Area 4 and SO and right across from MID, and they have been inside the area. My team this morning also received information somewhere along in the Rosedale Road area that one person who involved in this situation that occurred yesterday, and they went on an operation and we had a fatal and a firearm also recovered. We will continue to pursue, sir, and no stone will be left unturned. What is happening here is not something that we're accustomed to in the Kingston Eastern Division, and we're not going to sit back and relax and allow any more of this to take place.
So the MP for the area, the General Kingston Eastern area and Port Royal, that a Philip Palwell, says that the fatal knockings and clappings of the 5 in the area of Warwick Hill, or Pleasant Heights as some may call it, in Rockfort Monday evening, has disrupted a year of sustained peace in the community. we don't really know about the year of sustained peace there, because 1 and 2 people, it still drop same way. But anyways, we're going to hear from Philip Palwell now as he weighs in and gives his take on the recent upsurge of crime and violence in his constituents. Now listen.
There's confirmation that a gentleman who was living overseas for many years, who has had attained his US citizenship and who returned to the island recently and in fact had launched an effort to bring more sustainable peace. In fact, the area has been peaceful for just about a year. It was, I think, a desire to sustain that over a period of time that he was killed and his son was also killed. I must thank the police and I also have to thank the Minister of National Security because there was a deliberate strategy to keep the peace, to maintain strong security presence, and then to build confidence. Because there was a time when people from one little area in the same community wouldn't go across the road to another area. So this was the confidence that I saw returning to the community where people were gathering from different parts of the area into one place yesterday, Pleasant Heights, for this football competition. So it was becoming to be so you'll have a period of a year of peace, 2 years even of peace, and then something triggers off an action. Now, what I've found in speaking to people, that sometimes these things are reprisals from years and years ago.
Blood feuds.
30 years, nothing to do with actual current situation. A young boy heard that his father was killed by so-and-so, and that hatred remains in that youngster for decades. It was a deliberate attempt, and I supported it fully, to change the name and we're hoping the character of the place. In fact, it was a part of the Operation Pride project. People now have water up there, and they are committed to paying for the water. They are still going through the final stages of having proper titles issued for their homes. Yes, it's deliberate, and it's amazing when you go up there how nice the place is, how the vast majority of people up there are law-abiding, decent people, want to live in a wholesome way.
So again, for those who missed yesterday morning's vlog on the incident, please go over and watch that vlog for a more detailed outlook on that particular knockings and clappings, fatally so, of the 5 and the injuring of the 2. So the minister basically said in a nutshell what I stated, that some long-standing thing with the younger youths, them where I carry belly from long time. Who did ClapWeh, who for father from back in the days and so forth. So it is just way more than what actually meets the eye, even though that particular knockings and clappings was triggered by something totally different, which I will get into that as soon as I get the much needed information to tie in everything together. And he also stated that that community is stemming from the Operation Pride project that are from way back when PJ Patterson was Prime Minister. To the best of my knowledge, just one of the Operation Pride project was completed, and the one where if you stay in front of Nannyville, there's a stadium and look up on the hill, you see that big pretty scheme there. I don't remember what that scheme they called, but that was the only one that was completed, and that one was sold to the rich and famous. All the other Operation Pride projects were unfinished. One day out of Delacree Park, there's right across from Delacree Park. Many of the houses unfinished. Up at Pleasant Heights was also unfinished. Them did cut some road up there and things. Some of them unfinished, still dirt road. Up there full of bush, whole heap of unfinished house. So I don't know what the MP talk about. Say up there, nice. If it is so nice, why you not live up there? Well, when would I really like to see? let me come off course a little bit. I would love to see for a person to become the member of parliament for the area. One of the requirements should be that you must reside in the area that you are the MP for. No specific community, but just about anywhere you wish to live. Once you're in your constituency living, you can become the member of parliament. And I would bet my last dollar all of these communities would have significant changes for the better. Yeah, man. There's some would I love to see it go. But anyway, make we continue. So in another update, I made mention of it briefly in yesterday morning's vlog, where a 24-year-old woman and her 7-year-old niece get caught up in the latest spate of gun violence in the parish of St. Elizabeth. The two were caught up and wounded during an early morning home invasion in Dry River District in St. Elizabeth. They are in serious condition presently in the hospital. Now, we are going to hear from a family member who relates to us exactly what took place, and then we give you a little brief synopsis of what the report is saying. Now listen.
Daughter sleep together. But when they show the auntie first, because they never realize they're not mother, they catch. So when they grab on the grandmother, the mother for the baby have a baby in a fear hand. So when she grab on this mother, you know, and say, no, I'm my mother, then let go she. And shoot, but when they shoot, the baby blacky. And then shoot after him again, the baby blacky with the other side.
Yeah, but no, everybody I wonder what the person mean by the baby blacky. And then the baby black it again with him other side. We don't understand fully, but the official report says that sometime after 1 o'clock, the 4 occupants of the house were awakened by smoke after their attackers set fire to the front doors. It is said that 3 armed men then entered the house and opened fire, hitting one of the 3 women and the child. A cousin of the family says that it is believed that the knockings and clappings is linked to an ongoing domestic abuse case, and the mother of the 7-year-old appears to have been the target. The family's matriarch stated that she's trying to understand the reason behind the attack on her daughters and granddaughter. Boy, may I tell you, my peeps, the thing rough. And still in the St. Elizabeth Police Division, the St. Elizabeth Police have launched an investigation into an early morning incident at Georges Valley on Monday, which resulted in the knockings and clappings of a man. He's still among the land of the living, luckily for him. So according to reports, sometime after 8 a.m., the man was standing along the roadway when he was approached by another man who had exited a black motor car. The other man, the attacker, brandished a firearm and conned him up twice in the upper body before escaping in the waiting motor car. Detectives attached to the St. Elizabeth Police is presently probing that knockings and clappings. Now we're going to give you the latest crime statistics. The Jamaica Constabulary Force, the JCF, shows that there has been a 19% reduction in fatal knockings and clappings since the start of the year. Pretty sure that many of the ones them no want hear nothing at all about that. But the fact of the matter is that the statistics show say it is just a little less than last year. Not stating that things are get better, you know. It's just that many of the knockings and clappings them now result into fatalities, hence the reason why it may seem as if we have a reduction. So according to the JCF, 918 people lose them 3 points since January 1 to October 20. So we can add at least another 15 to that, because the 21st Monday 11 lose them 3 points. Then the 22nd couple more lose them 3 points. So I'm pretty sure it is way up in the 930 something by now. So that is 219 fewer than that of the corresponding period last year. The St. James Police Division is still the most murderous parish, with 110 fatal knockings and clappings so far. But that figure is still lower when compared to what the division recorded for the corresponding period last year, which was 158. So St. James is followed by Westmoreland, which had 82 fatal knockings and clappings. The St. Andrews South Police Division, that are Huntsby Police Division, recorded 17 fewer for the period, with a total of 86 fatal knockings and clappings. The St. Catherine North Police Division saw 76 people losing them 3 points for that period. The St. Catherine South Police saw 66. St. Anne has seen the biggest reduction of 40%, which is basically a little bit less than for the same period last year. The St. Andrews Central Police Division have seen the largest increase, with 40% more fatalities for this period. So now we're going to hear from the commanding officer for St. James, that Superintendent Aaron Samuels, who briefed the Prime Minister on his visit to the parish of St. James recently. Now listen.
Morning, sir. Superintendent Samuels, Divisional Commander St. James, with me. ASP Reed, Zone Commander for Zone 1, which you're in. Welcome to St. James, sir.
Thank you for welcoming me to my parish. Tell me about what's happening in the parish.
All right, since the start of the year, we have experienced a 30% reduction in murder. We have had 46 less murders since the start of the year compared to last year. We are trying our best, especially as it relates to tourism, to ensure that we bring the numbers down so that we can bring the tourism numbers up. There's a 19% reduction in murders right across the country, and we are playing our part in ensuring that we continue to get the numbers down across the country. We are happy to know that, through our community interventions or operational activities and working directly with the citizens of St. James, we are seeing this kind of reduction, and we hope to continue to see if we can set the tone for 2025 to really have a record-breaking year for St. James.
You still have some hotspot communities in and around Montego Bay, in particular, and even in the outskirts. What are the strategic operations that you're undertaking?
All right, what we have been doing is looking at the areas that we're having the slight flare-ups. We are increasing our policing presence within that space. We have been doing some cordon search, some curfews, to ensure that we can reassure the citizens that we are there with them. And we are doing some direct targeting of the persons who are creating mayhem within the space. And we have been dealing some success. Up to yesterday, we seized one assault rifle. The operation was actually led by ASP Reed here, and one person was taken into custody. And we'll be continuing to, fight to ensure that we get the weapons off the streets here in St. James.
The St. James challenge has always been the organized violence, the gangs, the lottery scamming, and other activities. The question is, have you significantly eroded the capabilities of the gangs?
Yes, since the start of the year, we have seized over 80 weapons directly related to gang violence. Through the work that we have been doing in terms of our national coordinated roadblocks, we have ensured that we block their means of transporting, moving around within the space. Also, since the last 2 to 3 years, we've been significantly reducing the impact of the gangs within the space. A lot of these gangsters have moved to different parishes or have fled the country itself and sought refuge elsewhere. And most of them have been impacted in terms of being behind the bars or unfortunately, some challenge the police and have met their maker.
So in general, you're down
30%.
30% in murders
In murders.
in
St. James.
In St. James.
19% nationally.
Excellent. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir.
Keep up the good work.
Now over there in the St. Andrew Central Police Division, the police have arrested 5 men following the seizure of an illegal pistol during a snap raid on Monday. The operation took place sometime around 1:30 p.m. along a lane in the Crossroads area. During the raid, law enforcement officials recovered a Taurus PT-24-7 pistol, which was affixed with a magazine containing 14 rounds of 9mm cartridges. The 5 men were subsequently taken into custody on suspicion of possession of a prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition. Investigations are ongoing. Now for the final story. It's coming from the troubled, war-torn, crime-riddled Kingston Western Police Division, where yesterday morning, that's Tuesday morning, right along North Street, right at the intersection of North Street and Orange Street, at the stoplight right there. So if you stand up in front of KPH Big Gate, you can look straight across and you see the stoplight. So it's not too far away from the Kingston Public Hospital. These 2 men presently on your screen, one identified as 23-year-old Michael Mitchell, said to be of a Blunt Street address. And this other brother identified as Donald Walters Jr., said to be from a Dumfries Street address, both in Denham Town in the Kingston Western Police Division. So reports reaching on the Spot News Media is that the 2 men were walking along North Street when they were pounced upon and conned up. The wounded men were taken to the hospital by the police, where they were pronounced, you know what. Now I could get into the meat of the matter. So firstly, 3 people end up get conned up and 2 succumb to the injuries. Now on your screen is Michael Mitchell, come from Blunt Street, more popularly known in the streets as Dante. It is said that he was the intended target of that attack. The now deceased Donald Walters Jr. from Dumfries Street is just an innocent casualty of war. So there's an ongoing gang war in the Town community in the Denham Town area in the Kingston Western Police Division. So the 2 fatalities yesterday morning, just a stone throw away from the Kingston Public Hospital, is a direct result of the ongoing gang war with Town and Anatown, neighboring communities who are presently at loggerheads. So the 2 youth them I gotta work. I get to understand that they are employees to the Burger King franchise. We're not sure which one at the Burger King them, but the 2 of them work at Burger King. Now it is said that Michael Mitchell, aka Dante, decides say boy he want to step away from the badness lifestyle because the heat I get way too hot in the kitchen, but it was just a little bit too late, and it is just sad that an innocent life was also taken along with his. Now young men, you all need to be aware of who you walk with, who you sit down pan corner with, who you stand up on a wall of reasoning with, who you go party with. Because if it's a known criminal element that has garnered unto himself some enemies, when the enemies strike, if you are there, you will not, I repeat, will not be spared. So make wise decisions in your movements. And don't allow because you're a man grow up and your brethren like that. And you know within yourself so you don't mix up in a nothing. You're going to make that make you lose your 3 points. You have to choose yourself first and put aside all others, especially when you're living in these type of garrison communities. Saying the way, just take heed to the warning and nobody end up getting the canning. Yeah, man. So remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.